I hate Mondays. Welcome back to So You're Interested In, the show where I break down an artist's discography in order to give you, the viewer, the best possible jumping off point in order to get into their catalog. On this episode, we'll be blowing out your amps as we comb through the discography of sludge metal legends Floor. Originating in Miami, Florida in 1992, this doom outfit has seen their fair share of breakups, reunions, and reincarnations. Early in their career, they put out a lot of singles and splits, but it wouldn't be until 2002 that they would actually begin releasing full-length records. Since then, they've put out some of the most influential and important sludge and doom material and continue to tour when they have the time. As always, I'll be breaking down their catalog by recommending 2 albums and 3 individual tracks that I think you should be listening to in order to get into Floor. The albums, they always come first. The first Floor record to listen to is their debut 2002 release, Self-Titled. Full of catchier, nearly singable sludge cuts, Self-Titled sees the band experimenting with who they want to become in the future. Opening up the album is Scimitar. Immediately, you're greeted with Floor's signature brooding guitar and periodic drum slams. You also get a good first look at Steve Brooks' vocals, which always sound like they were recorded way too far away from the mic and then were raised in the mixing, giving it this very distinct sound. Next up is Night Full of Kicks, which features a dueling thread of guitars, one that is melodic while the other one is absolutely crushing. A great representation of what separates Floor from other sludge metal groups, Night Full of Kicks shows off their interesting songwriting techniques. Last but not least, we get V-Song. This blistering track will blow you away with earth-shattering drum and guitar rips. To me, it feels like that scene in Terminator 2 where the person is holding onto the fence while being blown apart by the atomic blast. But these are only 3 of the intense tracks to come off of Floor's self-titled record, so be sure to check out the rest of this dense album. The next album to hear from Floor is their 2010 release, Saturnine in Tears. I'm probably biased in picking this project because of how much I love it, but the production and soundscape are so otherworldly and captivating. The first song to pay attention to is Dead Wrong. The guitar sounds like the strings are being yanked out on each strike, while the drums are blown out of proportion, making this a wild ride from front to back. Next up, A Bun in the Oven is a cover of the Princess Tiny Meat song of the same name. Only this time, instead of being rooted in industrial, this song is blessed by pedal-heavy guitar and bass and spine-rattling percussion. Each note feels like the Battle of the Basses from the movie Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Overall, just a badass cover. Finally, you get Ein. With an instrumental that is so crunchy you'd think that you stepped on a pile of leaves, this song is relentless on the ears. It could just be me, but Saturnine in Tears should be a go-to for people looking into Floor's discography. That's enough of the albums, let's move on to the tracks. The first track to hear is Sister Sophia, which comes off of Floor's latest release, Oblation. Some people have described Floor as sludge pop, and honestly I thought it was BS. But after one listen of Sister Sophia, you'll understand this description much better. The thick guitars act as a mask over Brooks' rather lovely singing. In my humblest of opinions, Sister Sophia will be the easiest track for new fans to get into. Not necessarily because it is very pop focused, but because it is a damn fun song to move your head to. Next up is the much more explosive Namaste, which comes off of the 2010 album Dove. Right out of the gate, this song is in your face with raw and energetic guitar slashes. Sometimes it feels like it was even too much for the mixing board to handle, as periodically it cuts out from how loud and overbearing the guitar and pedals are. Brooks' vocals on this are the complete opposite of what they are on Sister Sophia, as his guttural cries match the throat-punching instrumental. This is doom metal at some of its best, so be sure to listen to Namaste. Finally, I thought I'd throw in the live version of Down Star from their 2010 record, Sight and Scene. Unfortunately, this recording doesn't sound that great, as the mixing on the vocals is completely off and the drums sound pretty weak, but regardless, you can still get a glimpse into the intensity that is a Floor live show. Not to mention, Downstar is a fantastic cut from their self-titled record, so it's a win-win if you ask me. Go give it a listen. And that concludes my video on Floor. They have a lot of material out there that I couldn't cover, so be sure to go check it out. If you do end up listening to them, be sure to comment below with some of your favorite songs or albums, or if I overlooked your favorite Floor release. While you're down there, you can leave a comment of what artist you'd like to see me cover next. I've received a lot of great suggestions so far, some of which I've already released, and the others I'm still working on. Any suggestion is a good suggestion in my book, so run wild. All the albums and tracks that I've talked about here are linked in the description box below. Be sure to subscribe for more videos just like this every single Wednesday, along with the occasional one on Mondays, along with Forever Spinning, which is a video history essay on a classic album that I've decided I'm going to be putting out every other week. It just makes it easier for me to make a better video than pumping them out so quick. I also have a new series that comes out at the beginning of each month called Where It's At. Basically, in that show, I run down my favorite albums that have come out in the prior month. The January edition is now live, so be sure to check that out if you are looking to get into some new music. And that's about all that I have to say besides wear a mask when you go outside, listen to Floor, and if you can, support your local record stores and local artists. Bandcamp is continuing to do what they call Bandcamp Fridays, where they take no revenue for the entire day. It all goes towards the artists. So next time it comes around and you can support a local artist that you love, please be sure to do so. That's all that I have to say, so until next time, happy listening.